So while we're in the middle of this engine swap, I thought I'd do a video on how we got these wider wheels and tires on here. I'm gonna keep it real short, make it as simple as I can, because these wheels and tires just weren't gonna cut it. Plus we gotta customize everything. So first, let's show them the difference in the tire size, okay?
Okay.
So originally it was a 7-inch rim. The tire diameter is about 15.5 inches, something like that. And the width, we're at about 5.5 inches. And your new tire diameter, about 17.5. It's about 2 inches taller.
Muddy on this side.
The width of the new one, about 9 inches. Just put them next to each other. Here, hold that up. Quite a bit different. A whole lot more width. So here's all the components you'll need. 8-inch rim by 7 inches wide with a 4x4 bolt pattern. I used these because I had them on my other go-kart and I could use it to kind of measure off of and make sure everything was going to work. And we went with 18 by 9.5 by 8. These Sunaf Street something tires. It's got a little bit of a tread, but it also kind of lets them slide around the turns still. So to get these wheels and tires to mount up to the axle on the GK200, you gotta make this sort of deal. We got a 23 spline 4x110 millimeter hub, and then an adapter that goes from the 4x110 to 4x4. This one's 1 inch. And then we've got M12 by 1.5 bolts. You'll need them to be 30 to 35 millimeters long. Our hardware store only had 40, so I had to cut these down just a little bit. And then you'll need M12 by 1.5 lug nuts. So these are the lug nuts that came with the wheel spacer. They're also M12 by 1.5 thread pitch. Here's the ones that we bought. The ones that come with it are a little bit shorter. That works out well for getting them to sit inside the spacer. So we'll actually use the ones that came here. We're actually going to use them here because they'll sit below this level, and this all needs to be flush here. So you'll take your 23 spline wheel hub, line it up like that, stick your bolt through, and then use the lug nuts that came with the spacers here. And when you tighten everything down, it'll sit real nice. Get these all on real quick. I did drill out these wheel hubs to fit the M12 bolts. They come with M8 bolts, but I didn't trust that. We're putting this on a higher horsepower go-kart. So I wanted to kind of match these wheel studs, bolts, with the same studs that came on the spacer. So M12 by 1.5, I used a 15/32 drill bit and just drilled out all 4 real quick. And then these fit right in. Alright, start with this one. And have you send it down. So that gets us 2 of these, and they're ready to go on the cart. And then the wheels just mount to here like normal. So we're going to stick this on. When you take the other one off, you'll see how big of a pain it is to kind of get them off. We took ours off within the first 2 weeks, and even then it had got a little bit of dirt and dust in there and was real hard to slide off. It's a real tight fit. So I always kind of grease the mess out of it You can grease the inside of the new wheel hub as well. That way it just goes on and off easier in the future. We'll slide that on. Same spacer, lock washer, and nut that came with it. Make sure you tighten that castle nut in a position where you can still get a cotter pin through there. I'm gonna just use the old one, but don't tell anybody. Clean this up real quick because it's got to sit flat in there. So, what'd you do to this thing, man? Perfectly clean.
Perfectly.
So now we'll just do that same thing to this other side, and we'll be all done. I went and got a new one. So there we are, ready to roll again. Get it? Ready to roll the wheels. With the 1-inch spacer, everything just lines up real nice. You like the way it looks like this better?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll put some videos of Silas riding this thing with the big tires and give you a cost breakdown while you watch that. So we're almost done this engine swap with the engine from Redbeard's garage. It's going to be 16.5 horsepower on this little go-kart. Should be finished up in the next day or two. Just waiting on a couple more parts. It should be in tomorrow, and then we'll be ready to go.
Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time.